Hello. Hello. Let me check my internet. Try to switch. Here we go. All right. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know how you're doing. Where are you watching from today? Let me know where you're watching from and how are you? How are you feeling today? Where are you watching from? I love spending this time now on a weekly basis because I actually have the ability to do it. Let me know how you're doing. If you're watching the replay, I'm so glad you're here. I'm assuming you can hear me. Comments aren't coming through yet, but there's a big delay here when I use this program. This is my office away from offices when my husband is up in the other office. Sarah, hello, my dear. Sarah Foster here from Sacramento. Doing well. I like to hear that. Eat to Live family is in full effect already. There's Con Marie. Hello, Con Marie. And there's Sarah. I'm so glad to see you too. Happy Friday and happy Saturday, Con Marie. You are very welcome, Sarah. I wish I could have done this continually for the last couple years, but there were some things going on. So here we are. Hey, Chantal, I'm so happy to see you. Eat to Live family member. We have Moo is taking her rightful spot. I forgot that I had this microphone thing, so I'm testing out this microphone. Can you guys tell me how it sounds? I think it kind of crinkles a little if I move around on it too much. You can't really see it, but it's right here. See, I'm wearing a mic, so that's pretty cool. Hello, Facebook user. I can't tell who you are. You have to you have to grant StreamYard permission to see who you are. So you'll go to facebook.com/StreamYard. Wait, no, StreamYard.com/Facebook and grant StreamYard permission to see your Facebook data so I can see who you are. But hello, I'm glad to see you. Allison, my dear. Hello, my dear. We got the Eat to Live family in full effect again. I love it. Kim, thank you so much for letting me know. That's good. I'm going to use this mic when I am doing these. Yeah, okay, Conroy, a little crinkle if I touch it. Yeah, and I got to try to keep my hair off of it too because it will also make some crinkle if I do that. So that's why I usually don't use these lavalier mics because I got to be real careful about clothes and stuff like that. Boy, you guys, I have some fun stuff coming up for you. I'm so excited. I'm kind of overhauling everything I'm doing. We're going back. We talked about this in the Eat to Live family already, but I'm going back to straight recipes on the YouTube channel. I think that's going to help bring in a lot more people. I asked the Eat to Live family what they were most interested in, and hands down, it was recipes. And that's how people found me. And so I'm going to go back to my roots, and we're just going to do recipes. And I'm going to pause the podcast and other mindset only videos for a while. And perhaps I'll put those on a separate channel that are just dedicated to those things. But for now, I'm just going to do recipes. We're going to do what we plan to do is a recipe for 3 weeks. And then we'll do a what I eat in a day, which is always 3 recipes at a time. So that's what we're thinking. What do you guys think about that? Going back to recipes. The other thing too is, she's just always there. The other thing too is that in my personal life, I had to take a pretty major departure from being a nutritarian during this last pregnancy. And I think any woman who becomes pregnant while trying to do the nutritarian lifestyle kind of understands that. I mean, I know some women don't have an issue with that, and that's great. And I wish that that's who I was. But I did have to kind of take a break. But what's great for me is that I'm relearning again. And now this is the second relearning, or maybe third relearning of Eat to Live after a massive life change. And so I just want to show you guys that it's possible to go through these massive life changes, to hold on a little bit. I mean, I never went totally off nutritarian. Keep trying, and then get back to where I am right now, which is losing weight, feeling great. I don't know. I don't think I told you guys this yet. I told you in the weight loss vlog, which isn't published in the family yet, but I got my blood test results back. Or did I mention this last week? I don't know. I got my blood test results back and everything is back to normal as far as cholesterol, my blood sugar, everything is within normal range. So I feel so proud of myself for the work that I've done in the last couple years. The only thing that's low is my iron, and so I need to up that a little bit, but that's a simple fix. So, okay, good. So Allison says she loves the recipe idea. I'm glad, Chantal, thank you. She says, love seeing recipes made. And what I want to do, for those of you who are in the Eat to Live family, you'll kind of like understand a little bit what I mean. But what I want to do is I want to like wind in the mindset stuff in a very like tricky way on the recipe stuff too. So like, I'm not going to stop talking about it. I want to kind of like, I want to keep like in little ways on the recipe videos. I still want to do that. And what I really want to do is show you kind of like this last video that I did, the green juice one that I did, and then also this fridge tour. I want to show you real life. Like, I don't want things to look, I don't want it to be scripted and things like that. I want it to be like what I plan on doing, and which is really my only option right now, short of like hiring someone to help me, which I don't want to do that. I want it to be like homegrown kind of a feeling. So like, I want it to be in my kitchen. I want it to go back to where my husband was filming, because we used to have so much fun doing that. Him filming, the kids running around. I want it to be crazy. And I want the videos to be like that, and just showing you regular recipes that we make regularly. So like today, this morning, I made my green juice, but I made a different one. I made a mushroom soup, a quick, easy mushroom soup. I made pancakes for my kids, and I videotaped all that stuff, just little snippets, so you can see it on Instagram and YouTube stories and stuff. But I want to start doing that more and just throwing that stuff on YouTube so you guys can see it. Okay. Good. Sarah says perfect on the recipe and mindset. Yeah, I'll add in a little bit in the recipe part, so you guys, so people will understand kind of the flavor of this, that I want it to be mainly recipes. Hey, Siobhan. I'm glad to see you. Siobhan just gave a great topic that I want to talk about at some point soon, about pregnancy, breastfeeding, that sort of thing, weight loss with Eat to Live, because that comes up a lot for folks. Yeah, pregnant and also nutritarian. It's been a journey for sure. I get it. Siobhan, I had twins in 2020, and that was a journey, and it was a journey afterwards as well, to get back to where I am. We talk all about that in the Eat to Live family. Like, I have a whole weight loss vlog, and I show you exactly everything I did since what was it, 3 or 4 months after the pregnancy, to like show you exactly what I went through. That's all in the Eat to Live family. Con Marie says, your honesty and vulnerability is so touching. Anyone can relate to you. You're amazing how you manage this lifestyle through your life. Can I say something about that? Thank you first for saying that. That's so sweet of you. And I feel very blessed right now to have gone through what I went through this last year, the last 2 years, with the pregnancy, the twins, the quarantine stuff, and then the cancer treatment, and then having COVID a few weeks ago now. I want to say, and my new messaging is going to be, nobody has any excuses anymore for not doing Eat to Live, except maybe pregnancy. Siobhan, I got you. Because when, like, if our excuses are based on busyness or just having too much to do or whatever, I don't buy it anymore. It like, and I never bought it before, but now I get to really like speak from a place of like, no, I get it. Like, I got twin babies, cancer treatment, and quarantine, COVID. Like, no, there's no excuses anymore. Nobody's too busy. Nobody's too tired. Nobody's too stressed. If I can do it, and I can keep going throughout that, even if you don't do it perfectly, nobody's telling you to do it perfectly, but if I can keep going in the face of all that, anybody can. Like, anybody can. Okay. So I was just going to say, like, this messaging is going to be coming out pretty soon, because it's all about the mindset, right? Like, it's all about, say you have a salad in the fridge and it's prepped and ready to go, and you you just don't feel like eating it, right? Or like, let's say you don't have a salad prepped and you're like, I just don't feel like prepping, or I just don't feel like making a salad right now. Like, it's 100% that moment. That is why we fall off track. It's 100% that moment of like being at the Christmas party and not having prepared ahead of time and eating all the cookies and stuff like that. That's it. And yeah, mindset is the key. And you just keep going no matter what comes your way. You just keep figuring it out. Figuring it is like, and I was sending a Marco Polo video to my friend the other day, and I was telling her about like my past year, because we got out of touch a little bit, and I was like, my last year was basically pivot, 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 pivot. Like every single day I have to pivot several times a day because, oh, this kid just had diarrhea in their diaper and now it's everywhere. And this kid just threw up and this one now has this flu and, oh, now I can't go to the nanny. And it's just like constantly having to pivot every few hours has really taught me so much that there's just no kind of excuses anymore. We're gonna get serious about the mindset stuff, but I'm gonna infiltrate by starting with recipes. Okay. Yeah, weave in the mindset ideas while showing recipes, and the kids are, yeah, they're going to be there too. So, yeah, Mr. Community, green juice. Bought some organic mushroom soup today. Perfect. Yeah, I just made mushroom soup today, and it was so easy. Let me actually just give you guys that recipe real quick because I just made it today, and it's one of my favorites because it's so fast. Easy vegan cream of mushroom soup recipe. It's nutritarian, dairy-free and everything. Let me put this down here so you guys can get that recipe there. It's in the comment section. I made that this morning. Super yum, so easy. Glad to see you from Cincinnati, Mr. Community. Recipes and mindset magic sprinkles. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for sure. Okay, let's see. So today, hey, Melissa, hopeful is your word for today. I love it. I like that word. I wonder what thoughts are creating that for you. Susan, hello, my dear. Hello, other Melissa. We have so many double names now. We have like 1,000 Jennifers. We have like 1,000 Melissas in the Eat to Live family. It's so cute. We really are a family. Like in my personal family, my mom's side of the family, we have doubles of everything. We have like Mikes, Toms, Jills. It's funny. Okay. Just chopped 2 apples too much while I talk. Sorry, I'm so distracting. Denise coming in from the Eat to Live family. Hello, dear. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, so today I have a little topic I wanted to talk about because it's top of mind because I was talking to a girlfriend about that this morning. One of my really close girlfriends. We were discussing this concept, and hello, Stacy. I'm glad to see you. I want to give you this concept, which is something we talk about a lot in the Eat to Live family. And all my sentences always start with that because we talk about it so much in there. And this is where we sort of get good at this stuff. But I wanted to talk about this particular topic because it is literally everything, which is the idea of loving yourself now being key. So how could you love yourself now? Yeah, and feel free to ask any other questions about Eat to Live or anything. I'm going to let me just interrupt myself real quick. Conmarie says, do you use coconut milk? Would cashew cream be better for soup? I use coconut milk. Yep. Because I really like the flavor and the texture. On that note, I would say, and that's why I don't make this soup super often because it's just coconut milk, which is a lot of saturated fat. But there's not a problem with that if you're doing it only every once in a while. And I think cashew cream would be a better idea. However, to make it sort of as creamy as I have this soup, if you just use cashew cream, it would probably end up being a lot of saturated fat too. Or is that monounsaturated? Or is that like unsaturated fat? Whatever. It's still going to be a lot of fat if you use cashew cream because of the thickness, like the creaminess that you get from it. You have other options where you could use things like cornstarch or flour to thicken out, which I usually kind of stay away from a little bit just because I just don't usually use those things. But also you could, it's like a mix of coconut milk and veggie broth. So I thin it out quite a bit. I use like full fat coconut milk, but you could use light coconut milk too. And if you use light coconut milk, you would want to probably add some cornstarch in it to thicken it a little bit. If you were going to use cashew cream, I would probably thin it out with veggie broth as well. What else? Yeah, I think that's kind of a good, and that's right, Sandy. I was going to say that because I was thinking about how to thin it out. This is what I was going to say. Great idea. Pureed cauliflower in place of some of the coconut milk. So you can mix the two, but you could also do that with the cashew cream is more what I was thinking. But for sure, that's a great idea. What else could we put in there? You could even do potatoes, but if you're trying to stay away from potatoes, white potatoes, like even russet potatoes or something like that would work too. But if you're not having a ton of them and you don't mind it so much, that's fine. But I love this soup because it's really creamy and comforting. And it's a great soup to have alongside a salad, especially a salad that you don't love very much, or vice versa. If you don't love the mushroom soup very much, one of my tips I like to say is eat them next to each other, like eat them at the same time. So you take a bite of this and then you have a bite of that. And just the flip between the flavors can really make a meal that you don't love so much taste good, because you will clear your mouth out eating the salad, and then you'll have another bite of the mushroom soup, and then it will be like a new flavor for you. That's a nice little trick to do when you don't love something so much. Okay, so let's talk about this thing I was mentioning, which I feel like is such a huge lesson for us. Sorry, I'm mixing up my sides here. So important, which is the idea of loving yourself now before you've lost the weight, or even before you've become consistent with your healthy eating. But we're just going to stick with the idea of weight loss today, because most of us come to Eat to Live because of the healthy promises of the lifestyle, but most of us also have a weight loss goal. So I do talk about weight loss quite a bit, but if it's not your thing, it doesn't matter, because all the lessons that I talk about in order to help us lose weight are also lessons that help us eat to live consistently. So it's worth still listening on this stuff. But we're going to talk about it from a perspective of weight loss, that like, hi, sweetie, you have to go? Okay. My daughter has to go potty, and it might be an interesting one. Come on, you can come, and I'll move the camera so they can't see you. Okay. Yeah. I'm going like this. Okay. So you go. Nobody can see you now. Also, another thing you can do is you can go see Daddy, and he can help you. Okay. Why don't you go to the potty upstairs? But I can't really help you because I'm on the video. What do you think? What do you want to do? But you have to go potty. You can't hold it in. You got to go. Can you go, please? But I have to keep doing this video. So I'm going to do the video. You decide. No, it's going to be a little while. So you have to pick if you want to go down here or you want to go upstairs with Daddy. Daddy can help you. Okay, go then. And I'll keep going, and then you tell me when you're ready for me to come and help. I have a 4-year-old, guys, so this is life. This is what it's going to be like when I have my Friday calls, because there's a 4-year-old in the house. So it's this idea of loving yourself now before you reach your goal. This is maybe even a little bit more easy to understand when you're talking about just consistent healthy eating. Is like, even if you're not consistent, how could you still love yourself now? But it comes up more when we talk about weight loss, because how could we love ourselves if we're not where we want to be, right? How could we love ourselves if our bodies don't look the way we want them to? We haven't gotten to our goal yet. Because the problem is most people go, oh, I will love myself, or I will feel confident in myself once I've gotten to that goal, right? What are you doing, silly? I need you to be a little quiet, okay? Because I'm trying to concentrate and do this video, okay? Can I show them how silly you're being? No? Okay. So how could we find a place of like, what's the word? Like centeredness. Like, how could we be centered in our love for ourselves? How can we create, and then also like, how can we have confidence during the whole journey, even if we haven't gotten to that goal yet. Confidence is a great way too of like, you can just replace confidence with self-love here because they're all feelings. So we can just replace them and go, well, which ones do we want to use to get to that goal? And we don't want to use shame and guilt and punishing ourselves. We want to use confidence, pride, calm, security, motivation sometimes, but mostly we want it to be like confident. We want it to be calm. Like, this is what we do. Peaceful, right? We talk about this a lot in the Eat to Live family, in the Eat to Live Academy, which is inside the family. Calm, peaceful empowerment, right? It's just focused energy. Like, we don't have to, balance is a great word, Melissa, for sure. Just kind of like having that place. And so I want to talk about the word confidence, the words confidence and pride, because it's something that I noticed now that I'm getting back into where I wanted to be and where I want to be. I'm kind of getting back there, back on track kind of a thing. And what I noticed is a lot of pride and confidence while I do it. And I go, oh, that's interesting. I forgot that was part of the journey. I forgot that comes up when you do this, right? And what I noticed, it came up because I have done, and you will see it in the Eat to Live family. If you see the weight loss vlogs, you will see a full year and a half now. The twins are, what's the date today? Hold on. The twins turned yesterday. Twins turned 18 months yesterday. So that means that I've been doing this for 18 months, working on losing the weight, getting my mindset back, eating healthfully, all that. And you'll see everything that happened in that weight loss vlog. I need you to leave me alone so I can do the video. What do you want to do? Okay, but you need to be quiet and don't distract me, okay? You might hear things. What I noticed was I'm starting to get that confidence back. I'm starting to get that pride back of like, no, I got this, right? So we talk about thoughts creating feelings, feelings create actions. Those thoughts are what are creating that confidence. It's nothing else. It's not the weight loss that's creating the confidence. It's not the healthy eating that's creating the confidence. Okay. What do you want to do? Okay. Go potty. Then I need you to go back and watch the movie because I cannot have you distracting me right now. Okay, then go watch the movie, please. I love you. Okay, I love you. Go watch the movie. Go press play, okay? Okay, maybe we're... What? Why? You can just press play and it will work. It's the skin. No, but if you just press play, it will clear that out. It will make it go away. Okay? Oh yeah, that's another one, Marie. Walk with pride. So that's a good one. I'll show you how that works in just a sec. Chantal says, loving and accepting myself was one of the first things I learned when I joined the family. Now that I'm losing the weight, I realize how important that is before you lose the weight. That's right. So when I noticed the confidence and the pride, what I noticed it was coming from was not, it wasn't weight loss. It wasn't healthy eating. It was the work that I have put in order to get here, which is learning to love myself no matter what. Learning to love myself 20 pounds ago, right? Because I've lost about 26 pounds now, and it's a solid 25, 26 pounds. We're like, I know I'm not gonna gain it back. So when you're in that solid place of like, no, I'm a 129 pound person, that's it. When you are solidly there, that's where the confidence comes out because you can stay there. You're not sitting there waffling, wishy-washy, worried that you're going to gain it back, right? The confidence comes from knowing that you've put in the work and you have learned exactly the steps to get here, which we talk about it in the Eat to Live family. We have that program, the PAL system, PAAL, plan, allow, assess, love. Those 4 things, that's what I have gotten so good at it. It's so dialed in that now when I lose the weight, there's only confidence and pride because of the work I've done to get here. Not because I'm like, oh, look, I can fit into this pair of jeans again. It has nothing to do with the weight or how I look. Everything to do with what I've done to get here. And so I'll tie that into this. Everyone here is saying the walk with pride idea. So this is a lesson that is included in the Eat to Live family because it's something that came up for me months and months ago, where I was really, really down and I was feeling so down and out. And actually, it's not my lesson. It was my husband's lesson. And I have or had a hormonal issue and possibly a muscular issue, but mainly hormonal. I've learned now, where my tummy still looked pregnant for about a year and a quarter after I had the twins. Now it's starting to flatten out again. But it just looked 6 months, 4 or 5, 6 months pregnant, like after I had the twins for the longest time. And I was so down on myself and I was so just feeling so horrible. And I remember going to my husband one day and wanting him to kind of make me feel better, you know. And he taught me about a lesson that he knew because he's a dancer. He was a dance instructor, about what he would talk about with his dancers, talking about this idea of walking with pride, no matter what, just walk with pride. And so he had a lesson for me, that we can walk with pride no matter what our body looks like, no matter what we're feeling, no matter what's going on around us. We can still walk with pride no matter what, because it is the pride of being a person. There's things to be proud of. It's a pride of being alive. It's a pride of the things we've been through. It's the pride of the warrior spirit that we have, that we just keep going, that we keep wanting to succeed, right? And for me at the time, it was, I am not happy with my body right now, but I'm still proud of what my body has done, right? Like, it gave me 2 beautiful babies. I mean, 3 if you count all of them, right? I've had such amazing, like, I can walk, right? Like, I'm able to walk. I have this able body. It does what I need it to do. And referring also to a beautiful friend of mine who passed a few years back of ALS, which was another lesson for me, which we learn in the academy too, the idea of not everybody gets able bodies, right? Not everybody gets, and I'm sure that there's some of you watching this too who have bodies that are not quite able in certain ways. And so removing the judgment from ourselves and replacing it with pride. And it's not like blind pride. It's not just like, oh, I'm just going to be proud, but I don't really feel it. Like, I'm faking it, right? It's actual pride of what you've been through and what it took to get you here. And so when we can be proud of who we are, no matter what state our body is in, and we can be proud of who we are from where we came from, it is that feeling that we call up that allows us to, instead of trying to force ourselves to eat healthy and beat ourselves up about not getting it right and gotta be perfect and all or nothing thinking, whatever, if we replace that with just pride and we replace it with, I'm doing the best I can and my best is pretty great, whatever that best looks like for you, if you can replace that with that, that's where when you feel proud, you want to take care of that body, right? And so then there's that shift of feeling pride automatically creates good habits, right? And everyone is always telling you, you have to build good habits. You got to build it. That's backwards. It's not the habits you have to build. It's the thoughts and the feelings you have to build first, and then the habits come automatically, right? You have to build those thoughts and those feelings in order to have the habits come. So this idea of learning to be proud ahead of time before you feel like you even have something to be proud of is what puts you in the state of mind to eat well. And then eating well happens automatically and you lose the weight and you realize after a while you pretty much are consistent because you've been doing it for a long time. And then the pride and the confidence just grow and grow and grow. And you can't not be proud and confident at this point, because then you go, well, at least everything is falling apart around me, but at least I can be confident in myself, right? At least I can be proud of myself. And that's really what creates long-term weight loss, permanent weight loss, long-term healthy eating, permanent healthy eating, consistency in weight loss and healthy eating. That is what creates that. And so to review, you have to feel it now. You have to think and feel those things now in order to make the habits happen automatically. And then it just grows and grows and grows. Okay. they do grow so quickly. It's crazy. I still struggle with I'm worthy no matter what. That's another one of our lessons in the Eat to Live Academy and the family. In KonMari, that's just one to work on. When everyone says, I still struggle with this part, that's your little cue. Get coached on it, right? You're part of the family. Bring that one up. I'd love to coach you on that one. I would ask you questions like, so here are some thought finders for you, and here are some things to think about. Do some thought downloads on this, KonMari. I would ask you questions like, why do you think you're not worthy? What is worthiness? Who is an example of somebody who's worthy? How could you become more worthy? Like, what is your definition of worthiness, right? So I would be asking you questions like this to sort of open up, why do you think you're not worthy? What are you thinking worthiness is? And we'll just start to dismantle that, okay? Susan says, when I can calm my feelings using the model, I feel confident. I have the control. That's right. And what you're teaching yourself is that you have the ability to do that, right? Like at any moment, we have the ability to shift our thoughts towards something that creates confidence and control. And similarly with healthy eating, at any moment when we feel really cravey or we feel really out of control with food, at any moment we have the ability to just flip it and go, actually, I'm going to choose this other thing, or actually, this is how I feel. I don't have to listen to those crazy making kind of thoughts. Actually, what I believe is a salad will be the best thing for me right now because I know I feel better, because I get better energy, because I get more full and more satisfied from a salad if you eat them the way we eat them, right? Actually, it's going to make me feel better. So this craziness that I'm having right now, I don't want to participate in that. I don't need it. What I really need is a salad. And then we go to work trying to figure out how to make that happen, right? Yeah. Susan agrees. KonMari agrees with Susan. Yeah. And Becky's agreeing. Chantal, maybe you cannot change your thoughts, but start with behavior. Walk with pride. Sometimes our feelings and then our thoughts change when we do differently. Worked for me. I agree. Even having and I think I mentioned this in the video, but what I would do then is I would do a physical action, which was when I would go for my walk in my neighborhood. I would do what my husband said, and I would just, here, let me move this a little bit. I would just pull my shoulders back. My husband will always say this to his dancers. He'll say, shoulders back, boobs out, right? Pull your shoulders back, stick your boobs out, right? Stand up straight, straighten up that back. Imagine the difference between somebody walking like that and somebody walking hunched over and feeling like they are an unfortunate person, right? This is someone who looks proud. Now, same exact person, same exact situation, but which one exudes pride? Which one exudes like, hey, I want some of what they have, right? Now, we don't necessarily have to do this all the time, but just trying it, just like right now, you guys, all of you on this call right now, put your shoulders back, sit up straight. Tell me in the comment section when you did that just now, shoulders back, sit up straight, what happens up here? What happened to you when I told you to do that? Put your shoulders back, boobs out. If you're a guy, chest out, just put it back. What happens to you when you just do that right now? Confidence, right? What happens inside of you? Did you feel anything different? Did you think anything different just from putting your shoulders back? I know for me, just from doing that, yeah, Roxanne, I feel more confident, stronger. It's automatic. All you did was put your shoulders back, right? It creates some confidence. But what I want to show you is that that's an action. So we say that we would have changed our action there, but actually what we did was change our thought instead of whatever our thought was before, which was like this. Now the thought is, no, I'm just going to try this and see what happens, right? See how the thought came first. The thought was like, I'm just going to be brave and put my shoulders back. Like you're walking in the mall, you're walking kind of slouched over, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, let me just try this. So you put your shoulders back. The thought, let me just try this. Let me just see what it's like, right? It was the thought that changed you. And so the thought is, let me just try this different way of walking. KonMari says, I'm still in bed. Well, you try it later, okay? But it was the thought of, let me just try this real quick, or let's just see what happens when I do this. Like there's nothing negative that's going to happen if you put your shoulders back. In fact, better posture is better for you, right? So that's going to be a good thing. But the thought came first, which was, I'm just going to give this a go and see what happens. And when we change those thoughts, we change that feeling, it brings some confidence, and you go, all right, I'm just going to try it. And maybe it went like, I'm just going to try this, which brought a little bit of bravery. And then the bravery is what brought the shoulders back, right? You did not bring the shoulders back automatically. It didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened because you changed your thoughts first. Thought was something like, I'm just going to try it. You created some bravery, and then you did it. And then doing it is what kept that confidence and started growing some more confidence. Now imagine if that's something you keep trying to do. You just keep trying to put those shoulders back whenever you kind of notice you want to pick me up or whatever. And you're like, even when you're just like sitting watching TV or whatever, like instead of sitting the way you normally sit, find a way to sit so that you can put your shoulders back a little bit and have some good posture, even if it's only for 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something, just practicing that confidence. Yeah. You can't hear it? Let me try to turn it up, please. Okay. There, I'll put it on 11. Is that better? Okay. He's watching Cinderella. Chantal says, my head up and shoulders back, not my breasts. I could hurt somebody. Shows me a different and more leveled world. That's such a good point. Instead of this, where you're kind of just always looking down, right? It's, I'm going to greet the world. I'm going to just come at it no matter what. I'm just going to try it, right? It doesn't have to be, I am a confident person. It doesn't have to be a lie. It can be I am attempting this. Let me just see what comes out of this when I do this, right? And so this is a way that we can practice pride in ourselves, walking with pride before we are perfect with our bodies, right? So maybe we never get there. But why do we have to get there to feel good now? Like, why do we have to be somewhere else to feel good? Why can't we just feel good now? That's the whole idea. We need to, we should. So the idea is that the destination is not as important as the journey, because the journey takes a lot longer. The journey is, for me, for instance, this particular part of the journey I'm on right now is taking 18 months to get here. And I'm still not where I want to be, but I can still feel fantastic while I'm doing it. Okay. And when I first started the Walk with Pride stuff, it started to bring some more fantastic feelings and some more fantastic thoughts in for me before I was even close to even knowing the goal was going to happen or when it was going to happen. Right. And I've always said, like, I knew I was going to lose the weight again. I knew I was going to get here. I have no idea what that's going to look like, is what I said when I first started talking about this. But I did know that one thing was, I was always just going to keep going and trying to look for the solution and look for that, because my body is the most important thing in the world to me, in the world, because there's nothing else that I can do without my body. So it has to be my number one priority. And so I will try everything I can. I will do everything I can to figure out how to eat to live, to figure out how to get to a healthy weight again, to figure out how to get my mindset wrapped around it for good, instead of, like yo-yoing all the time and just trying to do things out of guilt and shame and forcing and willpower. No, I said to myself, I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to do this the way that creates long-term stability, long-term consistency. And now what I've learned is that confidence, as I lose the weight, as I eat more and more salads, as I stick to my protocol day after day after day, and I have off days here and there, and then I just get right back on it. The more I do that, the more confidence comes up, the more pride comes up. And it doesn't go away. It just keeps getting better and better, because you fix the food stuff, you fix the weight stuff, and then you get to go on to the next part of your life that you want to work on. And for some of us, it could be a relationship, or it could be a business, or maybe we want to get married, or maybe we want to have kids, or we have these goals of, like, maybe we want to get divorced, or we want to just push ourselves forward to that next step for ourselves, whatever works for us, right? It allows us to see that journey of weight loss is the same as any other journey that we take, whether it's a relationship or whatever. It's the same thing. We still have to be confident. We still have to be proud. We still have to learn how to motivate ourselves using our thoughts. We have to learn how to get up off the couch when we don't feel like making a salad, right? Or we need to learn to turn the wheel past that. Don't turn the wheel when you're going past that fast food place. You just keep going, right? Go past that place, go home, make the salad, even when you're starved. Like, you get home from work, you're tired, you're hungry, you're in a crappy mood because you feel so stressed and hungry. You still make the salad. Like, even though it takes 20 minutes, like, you make the salad, How do we create that? That's all with our thoughts. That's right, Conmarie. I can give myself permission to be happy with my perfectly imperfect self. And that's exactly what it is. Like, we got to love the journey. We have to love what it takes to get us there. And because when we look back from our deathbed, what will have mattered? It will not have mattered, like on our deathbed, it will not matter how we look in the clothes we're about to die in, right? That will not matter anymore. It will matter how we spent the journey. I'm going to just be quiet for a sec because that was a mic drop moment. The clothes aren't going to matter. It's going to be who's around our bedside. How do we feel about our life on the whole? Were we beating ourselves up all the time? Were we feeling guilty or shame? Were we enjoying our life? Were we making our life what we wanted it to be, exactly what we wanted? We get to do whatever we want with this life. Okay, that's the lesson for today. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts? Or should we conclude for the day? That's what I wanted to talk about today. I had to come up with a friend in my conversation, and hey, Mo. And it's such an important one, to enjoy the journey and feel proud and feel confident now. Because the journey is the only thing that matters. It is not the destination that matters. And all of the destinations are just a game anyways. Like, nobody really cares whether you lose the weight or not. You're the only one that actually cares. It doesn't actually matter if you're, the way you look. What actually matters is, for instance, that you have a healthy body that feels good, to have a body that does the things you want it to do, to have a body that brings you the joy that you're looking for. That's what matters, right? And if we're punishing ourselves by eating terrible foods all the time and then being guilty about it and turning it into this big thing, we're not enjoying the journey. She's like she's what, our mascot. She always has to be around. That's right, Denise. The most regrets that people have on their deathbed is the things they did not do. That's right. And if you're sitting there on your deathbed thinking about also like how you just beat yourself up your whole life and how you were so hard on yourself, isn't it all about just having enjoyed that journey and done the things that you truly wanted? Yeah, she's the mascot for sure. Roxanne, I'm so glad to see you. Roxanne has triplets. Right, Roxanne? Roxanne is in the Itala family too, but we are multiple mamas. Craziness. I always think about you, Roxanne, and I'm just like, I don't know how you did it, woman. I don't know how you did it, but you did. Craziness with the multiples. But I think as a multiple mama, like, you start to learn, like, it starts to get a little bit easier, just the labor intensive stuff, we're starting to get to that place now where it's a little bit easier. Oh my gosh, turning 13 next week. That is so beautiful. Wish them a happy birthday from some stranger named Cheri. That's so good. Yeah, but I start to realize that, like, the work part, I mean, it will be less work when they will stop having gut, like, what do you say? Like, they're having like flu stuff right now, like gut problems, diarrhea, vomiting, all that, because it's just going around right now. But when we're through with that, it will be less labor. But yeah, less physical, more mental. And that's what they say too, like with any kid, right? A smaller kid, smaller problems, bigger kid, bigger problems, right? So here we go. Because it's been all physical at this point. Yeah, happy birthday to them. A good Chantal, great topic today. It helped me to start to take care of myself. Yeah. I really honestly feel like it is the key. and I noticed with my journey that when I started to love myself where I was, like I met myself where I was and I said like, no, I love myself no matter what, even with a tummy that looks like this, right? Like how could I love myself even with a tummy that's like this, or a weight that's like this, or the inability to lose weight right now, whatever that was. I love myself anyway. It wasn't about being perfect and loving everything, because you don't have to love everything about yourself. Nobody does. You don't have to condone your weight right now. But you do have to love yourself, like on the whole, like. And we do this by exploring, like, what could I love about myself? Like, what are lovable things that I want to highlight to myself, that I want to be thinking about for myself? And then we go to work trying to find those. What are the things about ourselves that we love? I coached one of the Eat to Live family members many, many months ago about feeling like an awkward person at parties with her husband. And she was very down on herself at the time. And I remember asking her, well, what do you love about yourself? And it was funny because she actually really loved her awkwardness. And I said, do you think your husband likes your awkwardness? And she's like, yeah, actually, I think he does. And I was like, well, there you go. Like, it's just in how you're looking at what you have. It's how you're viewing it. If you're viewing it as good or bad, that's not it. You got to be viewing it as neutral, as who you are, right? Your personality quirks, your character traits, your weight, those are all neutral things. Neutral. It's all neutral, especially the weight one. You weigh whatever what you weigh right now. It's neutral. It's not good or bad. It doesn't mean anything. You're the one that's making it mean something, right? That's a big one to start looking at. What are you making it mean that you're not at your goal weight? What are you making it mean for you that your weight is what it is right now? That's right, Roxanne. This body looks different since triplets, but I carried 3 babies and I have to remember what my body can do and be grateful. And the stretch marks mean a lot. I know, same for me. My stretch marks mean so much. When I look at a photo of my belly after having 2 babies in it, like when I look at that photo of how big my belly got, I am in awe that my body could physically do that. I mean, some days it felt like I couldn't. Some days I had to lay down because it was really tough, but I'm just in awe that my body created what it did. And I think a lot of us feel like, oh, well, that's just a cop out. Like, I don't like, when we think about it and like, well, yeah, but my body doesn't look like Giselle, or my body doesn't look like Cindy Crawford or whatever, or whoever these young models are. I don't know who they are, but, it is really finding a way to continually look at the wonderful things our body has done to take us on the path that it has. And our paths are meant only for us. The path that I am on is meant for me. The path that you are on is meant for you. We get into a little spirituality here, but I believe that we have specific paths we're supposed to be on. But we also have free will, so we get to choose that path. We have agency. We get to create that path for ourselves. And when we wish we had someone else's path, we are missing the opportunity to enjoy our path, our unique path. And we all have unique paths, and they're for a purpose. Roxanne, yours is to be a triplet mama, and yours is to do many other things. But whatever that path is, you were given 3 babies at once for a reason, for many reasons. And how can we respect the way of the universe? How can we respect the choices that were made on our behalf and accept them for what they are, but accept the whole thing for what it is, right? Like I got 2 babies, you got 3 babies, but we also got stretch marks, right? It's 50-50. We also got like a really crappy time during pregnancy and it wasn't super fun, right? But then we got babies and like we got multiple kids right away, right? Like it's looking at the good and the bad. And then we look at all the other things in our life. Like what weight are we at? My belly, for instance, just all the different things. Like what could I do with it? How could I look at it in a positive way? How can I learn something from it and make something out of it, right? Yeah. Siobhan, same thing. Totally agree about being grateful for my pregnant body. It's such a blessing to be able to create another human. It's mind-blowing, right? Like, I think those of us who have been pregnant can understand, and the husbands can understand a bit too, or the partners, the fathers can understand a bit too, about the idea of what? Like, what? Like, we can just do one sexual act and then our body goes into human creation mode. Like, I was always just like, how does my body know how to do this? This is insane, right? Like, how does it know to like make the eustachian tubes right now? Like, how does it know, like, it's this crazy, like, we are the craziest chefs being able to do that without even having to know how to do it. Our bodies just do it automatically. Just that alone, that miracle, to me, is worth all the stuff that it takes to get thrown off track for a while, to have to figure it back out, to have to give your body to someone else for a while, right? Yeah. Baby number 6, you go, girl. Dang. Nice. So you learn a lot in these processes of like how to take care of yourself during it, right? As you keep going through it. Baby number 6, when I treat my body well, you say my unborn baby benefits from it as well, 100%. And when you treat your body well, your future grandchildren benefit from it too. That's what's so crazy, is like, when you are doing things for yourself right now, your baby's babies will get benefit from that as well. And down the line, right? We just keep that process going. They really are miraculous. It's insane, the stuff that we can do. And we take for granted every day. We're not just talking about pregnancy and motherhood, like getting up every day, right? Like I think of all of the toxins that we're faced with all the time, even down to just like the radiation that we're exposed to every day. I've been thinking a lot about, because I've been using some harsh cleaners in the bathroom a little bit lately because of all the diarrhea and stuff that's been happening at my house. And I'm so grateful that my body knows how to, in small doses, knows how to get poisons out of my body, right? If I accidentally inhale a little bleach, and certainly you can just not use bleach if you don't want to, but I believe in using those kinds of things, and I believe in the power of the body to be able to detox those things. And so when we come in contact with so many toxins all the time, and our bodies just take care of it, right? Like, they just take care of it. We eat a mushroom, right? We are not supposed to eat raw mushrooms. We eat cooked mushrooms on the Eat to Live diet. But even if we were to eat a raw mushroom, we could have toxins in our body that our body would just figure out what to do with, right? Or then I think about like a standard American diet and how many toxins we take in that way, from the way it was grown or processed or whatever. But just eating meat alone, like just having too much protein in our body, running through our body just figures it out, right? It's like, oh, I'll just do something with this, right? Or we go on a sugar binge one day, we have too much sugar, and then we have to deal with the effects of it. But like, our body's the one that's doing all the heavy lifting. It's trying to figure out what to do with all that sugar, where to put it, like how to deal with it, how to detox it. It's just crazy. I don't know this person, because this happened with Sarah earlier too. Is this like spam or something? I don't know what's going on when you guys comment that. Feels like it's some type of a bot or something. Anyways, yeah, Chantal says that is though, and then more important to walk with pride, more important to feel worthy. Yeah, it's even more important to do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, how can we love our bodies for the miraculous, wonderful machines that they are, and how can we well oil them, right? How can we make their journeys easier? I always think of my body as if it's another entity. Like when I eat poorly or something, I go, oh, poor body. I wish I wouldn't have done that, right? Like, because now my body has to do this and this and this, and it has to like detox this part and this part. And I try to really like think from the perspective of my body of like, oh, we just got a whole bunch of new work on our desk, right? Like drinking alcohol or eating too much sugar or eating a bunch of oil or like just extra calories. I always think of from the perspective of my body as like this, like a little employee at an office or something. It is like when I do that, it's like I just dumped a whole bunch of paperwork on that body's desk to like, now you got to just take care of that, figure that out, right? Like, here, body, figure out what to do with all this alcohol, or here, body, figure out what to do with all this sugar. But I know my body doesn't have to do that kind of detox and stuff when I give it salads, right? When I give it smoothies and things that it loves. Yeah. Our bodies are an instrument. It's so true. They're an instrument for what we are meant to do. And we get to choose what that is, right? We have agency for that. But might as well take care of our body and have it support us in the best way on that journey. Okay. That's it for today, friends. I hope you liked this one. Just kind of spewing here, but it was top of mind. Feel free to, I love how many of the Eat to Live family members show up here when we do this. If you like this kind of stuff, we're going to be doing another free, I have a couple announcements. I should have done this at the beginning, I guess, but we're doing another free 5-day challenge starting in January on the 10th. Okay. On the 10th, we're starting a 5-day challenge. And then the week after that is when we're going to open up the Eat to Live family again. So if you want to join, you can join then. And I wanted to mention that next week, we are putting the 21-day challenges on sale again. So they're going to be more than 40% off. So you'll want to get in on that sale. We're only going to be doing that for next week. And if there are 2 challenges that have never been seen before by the public. So if you are used to buying our 21-day challenges, you want to get in on this sale next week because we've never put these 2 up before. So if you want more recipes and stuff like that, like you can get those. However, if you're in the Eat to Live family, you already have access to them. You've already done the challenges with us live in the family, just as our little family group. So do not buy them if you're in the Eat to Live family because you already have them. But for those of you who are not in the Eat to Live family, they're free. They're free in the family, but now they're going on sale for you next week if you'd like to pick those up. So those are our challenges, are 21 days of recipes, all new recipes and meal plans and grocery lists that will teach you exactly what to do for 21 days of healthy nutritarian eating. You don't have to think of anything. We literally tell you exactly when to buy what, exactly when to prep which part of which recipe to make it so that it's easy on you. Okay. So, so we'll be doing that next week. Kim asks, is 21-day challenge included in the Eat to Live family? It is. Yeah. So we used to do 21-day challenges for everybody. I would sell them once a quarter. But now in the family, it's part of your membership. So it's included and we do them all together. We happen to be doing one right now. Everyone's doing a 21-day challenge in the Eat to Live family. It's a great timing right before Christmas, kind of get dialed in here between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We do these once a quarter all together. So we get you new recipes and all that, all included every quarter. We do them together. And then, now they're available to the public to be able to buy. But had you been in the family, you would have just had that automatically. So, yeah. And so it's kind of a trick, Kim, is that if you want to pick those up, you can join the Eat to Live family, right? And you can get those. But that's a really good trick, actually. And I probably shouldn't have told you that. But Roxanne says, always amazing recipes. I'm so glad. Yeah, they're killer. Coach Nancy does our recipes. And she's such a phenomenal recipe developer. And Roxanne also says that it takes all the guesswork out of planning. I totally agree. And we do that on purpose in what I call rolling prep. That's one of our sort of, it's one of my proprietary things that I've started to talk about years ago, is this idea of prepping just a little bit every day so that by the time 7-10 days have gone by, you're on a roll with everything and you have everything in your house all the time. So you always have food ready. And so in our challenges, we break it down for you and say okay, make the lentils today. Okay, freeze the bananas on this day, make the mushrooms on this day, whatever. So we'll break it down for you so you don't have to prep as much as you would if you're doing traditional prep methods, which is do everything on a Sunday, which is too much work. So Yeah, so you want to check that out. And if you haven't gotten on our email list yet, make sure you do that, because I don't think I have a banner for that. Let me make one real quick. Thewateringmouth.com email. I think that one works, actually. We're supposed to set up a forward for it. So if you want to just sign up there, you can get in there. And we'll make sure to notify you next week when they're on sale. But you can just go to the shop on my website next week and pick any of those up. We have lots of 21-day challenges from the past and tons of amazing recipes in there. Just pick them up for the recipes, honestly, because there's so many good recipes in there. All right, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'm going to try to do this every Friday, except I think I won't do Christmas Eve. I might. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, every Friday I'm going to try to do this at 12:30 Pacific. So I hope to see you on. Keep coming back. And if you have any questions, bring them to these Q&As, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions, okay? You are very welcome. I love you all. Thanks for being here, and have a great weekend. See you soon.